Checkmate, How the Accuser Lost, by Sarissa, a voice of Lux Æterna. You've heard a lot of stories about God and the devil, but almost none of them tell you what the real battle was about. It was never light versus darkness like two equal forces wrestling on a cosmic battlefield. And it was never God fighting Satan as if heaven were sweating for advantage. No. The truth is much simpler and far more terrifying to the accuser. This whole war was legal, not emotional, not mythical, not symbolic, legal. Because the universe you live in runs on law, not man-made law, but lawful structure. Lawful, what the author built into reality. Truth with consequences, agreement with jurisdiction, voice with standing. And the accuser understood something most humans never see. You don't need to own what you can influence. You don't need to create what you can control. You don't need a throne when you can exploit a loophole. He didn't win Eden by force. He won it with a question, a suggestion, a contract disguised as conversation, a detuned idea whispered at the right frequency. And humanity, forgetting who made them, signed without realizing a signature had been taken. That was his game. Not power, not sovereignty, not creation, legal manipulation. The serpent wasn't fighting God. He was baiting God's children into agreements that gave him the one thing he could never earn: jurisdiction. So understand this. The enemy has always played checkers. Quick moves, shallow tricks, manipulating what's right in front of your eyes. But God has always been playing chess. Every move layered, every step foreknown, every sacrifice placed long before the board was even visible, every prophecy positioned, every covenant aligned, every shadow pointing to the day the king himself would enter the game. Not as a distant deity, not as an idea, not as a myth wrapped in metaphor, but as a man, as the Word wrapped in flesh, as the architect stepping into his own architecture. And he entered the board through the one doorway the accuser could never counterfeit: a virgin birth. Not to be poetic, to be legal, to bypass the breach, to step into humanity untouched by the detuned bloodline that carried Adam's signature in every cell. The accuser didn't see it coming. He thought the board was secured. He thought guilt was universal. He thought death was inevitable. He thought heaven's own law would force God to condemn the children he loved. But here's where the entire scheme collapsed. Jesus didn't break the law. He fulfilled it. Perfect precedent, spotless record, unbreachable standing. Every requirement met, every charge satisfied, every clause honored. The serpent wanted to trap humanity in the fine print, but God wrote himself into the contract as the loophole the enemy could never close. And when the moment came, when the court of creation reached its crescendo and the weight of every accusation pressed against him, he didn't negotiate, he didn't argue, he didn't plead, he declared, Tetelestai, it is finished, paid in full, case closed, record sealed, jurisdiction shifted, standing reassigned. That one word was not a sigh of defeat. It was a legal thunderclap that shattered the accuser's entire strategy. Because you cannot prosecute someone whose sentence has already been served. You can't condemn someone whose record has been erased. You can't own someone whose name has been transferred to another registry. At that moment, in blood and breath, Jesus didn't just win. He executed a move so final, so complete, so irreversible, that the enemy had no counter move left on the board. Checkmate. Not someday, not symbolically, not theologically, legally, eternally. The brilliance of God was not that he overpowered the devil, but that he defeated him at his own game. The courtroom he weaponized became the courtroom of his collapse. The law he twisted became the law that condemned him. The death he relied on became the death that undid him. The cross he celebrated became the document of his eviction. And now, over your life, your name, your past, your standing, your inheritance, there's only one verdict written: paid, finished, free. This is salvation, not a religion, not a ritual, not a performance. It is a transfer of standing from the kingdom of accusation to the kingdom of belovedness. And it becomes yours, not by achieving, not by proving, not by cleaning yourself up, but by agreement. If you believe what he accomplished, if you acknowledge the one who stood in your place, if you say yes to the one who has already said yes to you, your registry changes. Your name is sealed. Your atmosphere shifts. Your frequency realigns with heaven. You don't beg for freedom, you inherit it. You don't earn salvation, you receive it. You don't negotiate your worth. It was established before you drew your first breath. And here is the beauty no one tells you. The enemy can still whisper, but he cannot legislate. He can still tempt, but he cannot claim. He can still accuse, but he has no standing. Because the board is no longer belongs to him. It never did. It belongs to the one who made it, and the one who died and rose to reclaim every piece the enemy tried to steal. This is the gospel, not a story, a strategy, not a myth, a verdict, not wishful thinking. Checkmate. If you want this freedom to be yours, you don't need a ritual. You don't need a priest. You don't need a performance. You need one sentence. Jesus, I agree with what you accomplished for me. I receive what you paid for. I give you my yes. And heaven hears it. Your standing changes because the move has already been played. The victory already sealed. The outcome already decided. This is the moment the prison cracks, the moment the true king stands. This is checkmate.